welcome to another edition of the Finish Fix Frog vlog. These are the vlogs I am doing once to twice a month to tell you about my progress on my 2021 project, Finish, Fix, or Frog, where I am finishing, hopefully mostly fixing or frogging, all of my existing whips. So I'm vlogging for you today because I have finished a new project. I have finished my knot front crop. So I will just take a moment and pop in a few professional photos that I took here. All right, so you can see that's how it looks on, and here how it looks fresh off the blocking mats. So the knot front crop is a pattern by Kerri Blumer, Kerriknits. I started this probably 2 summers ago and had basically knit the back part here and then just abandoned it. So I have done everything from basically this edge on. So picked up this part, did the twisty thing, and then the whole rest. The yarn I used for this is Magpie Fibers Domestic fingering. I will double check and put something here if I'm incorrect, but I believe this is her domestic superwash fingering. So it is not quite as soft as a superwash, traditional superwash merino fingering, but still plenty soft, just has a little bit more tooth to it. And this colorway is called Tin Roof Rusted. So I want to say I used 1 1/4 skeins. So this is everything that's left, and this is a good part of a skein, at least 3/4 of a skein, if not more left. For the size, the pattern includes some instructions to help you pick your size, and the idea is that you want to pick something with a little bit of negative ease, because you want this to fit closely around the bust. So the sizes available were 32.5 or something around there, which would have been too much negative ease, and like 36.5, which would have been a little bit of positive ease. So neither of those were good for me. So I swatched and my gauge was a little bit off. So I did the math and figured if I worked at my gauge and made the appropriate adjustments for the length, I could knit the size 32, but it would come out closer to a 34, which is exactly what happened. So the measurement right across the bust is 34 inches, almost exactly. And that gives me almost 2 inches of negative ease. So I'm kind of right in the middle between a 34 and a 36. So it gives me just a little bit of negative ease. I was a little worried while I was knitting it that it was not going to fit. It did open up very nicely with the blocking, and it fits really nicely. It is currently 92 degrees. I have absolutely no reason to wear this, but this is going to be, I think, very nice for the fall to sort of transition some of my more summery pieces, like the jumpsuit that was in the picture, to fall weather. I thought this would be really cute over this white sundress I have that I know I've worn. I wore it for the pattern photos for the Ticket to Anywhere shawl. So I'll pop a photo in here real quick. So this is a really cute sundress that I have. I thought this would go really well on top, but the zipper for the sundress is busted. And this seems, it's because, this is an old sundress. It is not top quality. I think I purchased it from Old Navy. And as what happens when you buy cheap clothes is that they don't hold up as long. So this has happened to me with a number of different clothing items where the nylon around the zipper wears thin and then the zipper starts getting caught in the nylon. I don't know if there is an easy way to fix that. I really like the dress. It's really cute. I don't wear it much because I have 2 little boys, and a white dress is not a great idea. But it really is a really cute dress. So maybe I'll look into if there's a way to fix that, or I guess I could take the zipper out and put in a new zipper, but that is really beyond my skill set at this moment. I am trying to learn to sew, but definitely I'm not quite there yet. So that's a possibility. But I'm a little bummed. I wanted to model this with that, and nothing doing. So I'm sure there are some other things I can find in my wardrobe that are going to go nicely with this, especially, like I said, transitioning pieces for the fall. It is this nice sort of orangey red fall color. I am really happy to have this done. The pattern is really well written. The instructions for this are very clear. She has also illustrated them. As I think I mentioned previously, I had like one false start, you know, just because you are kind of twisting needles around, getting things a little mixed up. Tried it again the second time, no problems. You really do want to take the time to block this, especially that knot in the front. So this is written so that this, even though it looks like stockinette, is actually a little bit of ribbing so that it will stay flat. But you definitely want to block that out to give it this nice shape here. So I get to check something else off on my Finish Fix Frog list. I believe my reward for this one is some stitch markers, so I will have to start shopping for that. So what comes next? I still have no interest in knitting that second sock of my husband's giant socks. I'll get there eventually, but what I want to focus on now is my, again, I still don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know if it's Deschain or Deschain, but this is a pullover pattern by Leila Raven, originally published by Quince & Company. I think we've all heard the deal with Quince & Company now. I did purchase this yarn last year, so before all of that really came to light. Rarely do I use the yarn called for in a pattern, but this is knit in a linen ribbon yarn. I don't know if you can see this, and I think it's called Kestrel maybe. So you can see this is kind of a flat yarn that was, you know, used for the original sample, and with something as temperamental as linen and then ribbon yarn, I really wanted to make sure I used the exact same yarn. So this is worked, I believe, from the top down, so it's actually like this. And I need to do 4 repeats of this kind of feather and fan, and I've done 2. It is also knit in pieces, as you can see. I had thought about reworking it to work in the round, just to make things, you know, a little bit more convenient, but I'm actually glad I didn't, because if you have watched the Elo and Stitch podcast, you'll know that I had a lot of trouble with some linen yarn that I used recently working in the round, which biased terribly, and perhaps that is why this was originally done in pieces. So again, since this is a linen yarn, this is something that if I finish it this month, maybe next month, I'll actually be able to wear it during the summertime. It is not a fast moving project for me, mostly because this is on, must be a size, it's not marked on my needle. Oh yes, it is, a size US 10. I really don't like to use needles bigger than an 8. They just feel really clunky, and I knit slowly with them. I just knit flat on a US 10 with this linen yarn. So this is not sort of a fast knit, but I have, let's see, when I picked it back up, I had worked, I want to say 1 1/4 repeats of the stitch and now of the feather and fans, and now I've done 2. I don't know, it's hard to, because it's so see-through, which of course it's supposed to be, it's hard to get a good look at that. But it's just kind of a lacy feather and fan that naturally causes the fabric to kind of drape, like this would be the neck, so it naturally curves downward. And then when it gets to the bottom, naturally pulls upward on the sides as well. So just using that stitch pattern kind of in the middle gives your sweater a lot of shape without you having to do any shaping. So this is, I believe, sort of a drop shoulder. So you basically are just knitting 2 squares, seaming the sides and the tops of the shoulders, and then picking up and knitting the sleeves, which I believe are a kind of 3/4 length, but probably pretty easy to modify if I decide to do that. I don't know where the rest of this yarn is. I am sure it is around here somewhere, but I haven't seen it recently. I only wound up a couple of balls. Again, this linen yarn, it doesn't work that well on the ball winder. It's so slippery, it basically just starts to slip apart as soon as you take it off the ball winder. So I don't know, I really gotta dig that up and figure out where the rest of my yarn is. This is only, I think this is only 1 ball so far. Not even, because there's still a little bit in the bag. So that is the Finish Fix Frog project that I am working on next. I think I mentioned in my last vlog that I wasn't sure what was coming next, but I was gonna swap in this pattern no matter what, but as it happened, past Kristen planned pretty well, and this was next on the list. So that is going to be getting pretty much all of my attention in terms of Finish Fix Frog for now. Once we move into August, I am gonna try to start getting some more of those sweaters off the needles, and some socks that are all waiting and in limbo. But for now, it is going to be focused almost entirely on this, so that maybe I can actually wear it sometime in August. How are you guys doing on your finishing, fixing, and frogging? If you are participating, leave a comment down below. Let me know how it's going. Share photos on Instagram with the hashtag. Would definitely like to see them. Also want to hear about if you are rewarding yourself like you were supposed to be doing when you finish these projects. Maybe in the next vlog, I'll show off some of the rewards that I have given myself. I am a little bit behind, but I'm okay with maybe catching up and giving myself a few treats, and maybe I'll show them off on the next vlog. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.